Hello, everyone, and welcome to this conversation presented by White House Custom Color.
Are you trying to mute me? No, it's just real loud, and I can't.
I sold Amazon, but it was $25.
Listening to listen, not listening to respond.
Yes. Oh, thank you for that.
Anyway, I'm Kay Eskridge in Phoenix, Arizona. I have known you for ever, I think. I was even trying to think of when we first met. And
15 years.
It was, I'm sure it was at a convention, and I think just kind of, you were like the big brother I never had and never wanted.
Until you had one, of course.
Until, yes, I have a lot of big brothers, and I'm very grateful for all of the ones that look after me. I'm very grateful.
We met through Kodak in like 2004, 2005.
Oh my gosh, that was right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
That's when I met you.
Yeah, like with Joe Paglia and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that does go way back. We were kids then.
Well, yeah.
Well, you were a kid. I was always old. Anyway, all kidding aside, so I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today. And I think the word, what I want to impart for the three people that might listen to this, nothing against you.
Thanks. Yeah, that's.
I'm sure
It's 33.
33 people that I think what I think about when I think about our industry. How about we go there? How about we make it about that for a little bit?
Okay.
And then we could always do a version 2, 3, and 4 should need be, unless I get the hook. I promise not to swear too much.
Okay.
Oh, Howard, go get the pig. Go get the pig so I have something to honk over my swear. I think that what I think of is hope, actually. And I don't think we're through the worst of what's happening in our world with the pandemic, but I think how it will affect our industry, should we choose to pick up the charge, is I think it will help solidify truly professional photographers as more of a necessity than we ever have been before.
Do you think?
I do.
Why do you think it's going that way?
Because, and this is what just in case I swear I'm ready. Actually, I should give this to Howard so he can do it. I think because, well, a couple of reasons. I think there's I think people are putting more of a focus on family and family time and family ties. I think we're putting more of a focus as humanity in general on the elderly people in our families and the legacy that they bring to the table. And because people aren't traveling as much, they may not be spending as much money. I was talking with some of my gal pals at a mastermind call this morning. They're all doing pretty well. Now, Arizona, it's already 113 degrees and it's 11 o'clock here in Phoenix. So
Oh my word.
We're in the middle of the heat, and we normally are slow this time of year. But they were talking about how their sales have been good because people are opting to spend their money on things that last forever, like a family portrait.
Yeah.
And that ties in with portrait prints versus just digital files that really they won't do anything with. So if we position ourselves correctly in our own communities, I think what we have the opportunity to take advantage of this newly this new experience of family bonding and of creating family memories and creating experiences within the family unit and within their homes or within areas, because they can't travel and they're not making the kind of memories or spending the kind of money on travel as much as they are on their own core family units. And I think that that is really promising for professional photographers, that there is a resurgence of that commitment to archiving the family.
So this is kind of a silver lining.
I think it's a huge silver lining. I
Nice.
also think that my attitude, what I'd like to maybe help people get through is learning, this is kind of an opportunity. It's a clean slate. It's an opportunity to pivot as we come through COVID, to launch new products, to try new things, to find maybe revenues or avenue streams that you hadn't ever gone down before. Because, like, for instance, if we circle back around again and in the fall and it comes back, things shut down again, maybe people can't come out to you, you can't get to them. But think about all of the unmined diamonds or your image bank of images that maybe if from a past session, either that they ordered and maybe didn't order as much, or give them another product line to order, something new that, like with all this, the items that White House has come out with, maybe come up with something that they hadn't already purchased, or maybe an image, maybe a candid image from the session that they just let go of before, circle back around with them on it and give them an opportunity to purchase something from a session that already occurred if they can't get to you now.
Now, how far back do you go? I'm curious about this strategy, or this, like, I mean, are you talking like in the last year or the last 3 years or the last 10 years? Like, how far back do you go?
I'd go back as far as you can, as far as you have the images.
Somebody 17 years ago and you say, hey, we have these new acrylics.
Why not?
What do you think? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's work.
It's money.
Well, it's potential money.
But isn't that everything right now? I mean, potentially, I mean, it's better than nothing.
Well, maybe it's always, and maybe it's always potential money too. So I'm playing the devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure,
right
I know,
now, right?
Because you are the devil.
Right.
No. Wait, every now and again, people watch, they'll see that red forked tail flip back and right behind your head.
Flip that around back here.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it though, because it's something that I think is a big deal, in that I like how you said, like, so there's a silver lining, right? And then what that leads to are different opportunities, different angles, different ways of going at things to bring in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to explore, are those ways. And so here's one of those ways where you can go back in your catalog, go back in your session catalog, and basically think, this order could have been better, or I think these people would really like this for whatever reason. There's lots of reasons why you might think that. And then to do the work on spec, essentially to present more options to them that they didn't have at the time, or that maybe they didn't consider for whatever reason at the time. So it's a solicitation.
Well,
right?
I would start with, like, if you're not already doing some form of e-newsletter, whether you do it once a month, or like I hit them once a month, and then halfway through the month with just a little quick blip. If I aren't, that's the way that's my first touch, is through the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not going to randomly start at A and go down to Z and go into store files. No, I think now that's work. That is way too much work. What I would do would be to think of start with your top 25 clients, the clients that have the wherewithal to probably do something. And we all have those clients, the clients that see us year after year after year. And, that they're going to be coming to you again, but maybe not. Maybe they're in an industry that's struggling right now, and you happen to know that they are. One of the things that I'm offering is, we call it iconography. And it's my nieces that are doing like line drawing caricatures, but they're not over cartooned. They're more like, oh, thank you. They're more lifelike. Like, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, I can. Yeah.
Oh,
yep. Yep. So you're doing that.
Yeah, right now.
Oh.
So take, and I don't have a sample of it, but what I would do then is I would take like a family portrait and make, like I said, we call it iconography, to create and imagine, if you will, you can just build a sample print. You don't actually have to order the print, but, and this would be something that they'd have to commit to, because I'm not going to do this on spec. I'm not going to do the drawing on spec, but I have an example to show them what it might look like of another family, a sample. And then knowing that their home may be more contemporary, one of your metal prints would be a really great thing that they never have thought to purchase before, because their portrait was a little more traditional. Well, all of a sudden you've got kind of more of a line art, fine art, you know, or you could do like with my pet series, the pet programs that we do, which we borrowed from you and Vicki years and years and years ago. We did actually, and I still am doing it because it works so well. I call it Pause for a Cause. I think you guys call it something else.
Yeah, Dog Days of Summer is what it
Dog
was
Days of
initially.
Summer. So I did Pause for a Cause, and I just did one 3 months ago. And actually, it was one of the ones that really I did a solid bit of revenue from it versus just the donation. But those, we're taking some of those images, and I'm using through Photoshop, doing a watercolor treatment to it and offering, that's easy. That's an easy, easy.
Sure.
I have an action item I created.
Right.
So those are things that I can very easily then show to a client and say, hey, what about doing a large wall portrait of a watercolor treatment of your pet? That's just an example of one more product that the session has already taken place. Maybe they just got their complimentary 5x7 and didn't do anything more than that, but yet I know that they have the ability to do so. Go back to them. So I'm handpicking these clients. I'm not just throwing spaghetti on a wall.
Well, then you're not going through your whole list. You started with top 25.
Yeah, I'm just going with the ones that I know that it's worth because I still am taking this time, like in my pivot time, to rebuild my website, to work on my branding division that I'm getting ready to launch. I'm using this downtime to, after I got through the first month and a half of sitting on the couch watching Netflix and eating ice cream, because we all had to have a little bit of that freak out period.
Yeah, right.
10 pounds later. Through the COVID-10, I'm going for 25.
Yeah, oh, I know it.
It's like college all over again.
Oh.
And I remember that. But the idea of using this time to kind of reinvent myself, and by reaching out to your clients about these other product lines, you're also giving yourself a reason to call them and a reason to talk to them and a reason, so you're not just calling them and saying, oh, you're able to say, hey, I've got this idea. Are you interested in me showing you something? Or want to make sure you saw the newsletter. There's something in there I think you might like.
Right.
It's opening up a lot of doors that I think we lazily closed. Lazily.
I can go with lazily.
Yeah. Because I think we all got a little fat and sassy about business was just rolling in, and now all of a sudden when it shut down, we all freaked. And there's still business to be had, and there's still money to be made. And it was interesting. I think this time also has given me a lot of personal time, a lot of personal growth, but also to define what my target markets are. And every now and again, we need that. I decided, newborn baby photography is not my jam. It's not that I'm not maternal, but I physically at 32 years old, I physically can't do that leaning over, that bending over. Right. Newborn baby photography is hard work.
For 3 hours or whatever it is, like those sessions can last a very long time.
That's just not my thing. I would rather work with tweens that are good for my soul, executives and corporate work that are good for my pocketbook.
Yeah.
And, finding a balance between those things and letting go of the things that it's not that I won't do it. It's just I'm not going to go after it.
So what else does the pivot look like for you? What other things? Because it sounds like you've been very intentional after the initial 6 weeks, right? But it sounds as though you've thought to yourself, I've said this to other people too, but you're making me think of it again. It sounds like you're like, I'm going to make lemonade out of these lemons.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it sounds so easy to say right now, doesn't it?
It is easy to say.
It is easy to say. but even like we would not have had this conversation 2 months ago. I'll be honest with you, I was in a mess. I'm dealing with a lot of external issues with my parents who are in an assisted care facility. My father has dementia. We're losing them a little at a time. I can't see them.
I saw your photos of him yesterday, by the way.
Oh, he's, I love my daddy so much. And he's alert enough and aware enough. I mean, he told me he loved me, and to have him say that and to hug him and to touch him was just so precious. But, there's a lot of other things going on right now. And I know a lot of my friends that the isolation and then not being able to see each other is really hard. I wallowed a while.
I want to know the why. I want to know the why you came out of that, though. You said 2 months ago you were where, and the how, the why and the how. Like, why did you choose to come out of that? Because sometimes we don't. And then how did you do it? 2 months ago to now, completely different mindset, completely different outlook. But you chose that.
Do you ever watch that movie? Oh gosh, now Billy Crystal, and he goes on a horseback trip with his buddies. City Slickers. And they talk about that one thing. And what's the old guy's name? He says that
Jack
one.
Palance.
Jack Palance. Oh, good call. You would be great at trivia. Jack Palance. I
love movies.
That's one thing. It's that one thing. And everybody wants to know what that one thing is.
Yeah.
I figured out what that one thing was.
For yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is it?
It's that one thing. No, I'm totally fucking with you. No,
I'm laughing at how good that worked.
I don't give up.
Oh my word, I'm so sorry.
No, in all seriousness, a lot of soul searching, a lot of it has to do with kind of what I personally have been challenged with over the last 10 years or so. The last year has been an amazing year of personal growth, but a lot of it is really figuring it out that it really is you're the one that has to do the work. No one can do it for you.
No one's going to do it, right?
You can go to therapists and counselors and AA, and you can do all of the things that you need to do, that you're told to do, that is the right thing to do. But until you dig deep down inside and figure it out, that it is you, that you have to do it for you. And more importantly, oh gosh, let's see if I can get through this. More importantly, you're worth it. And I was worth it. And I'm still worth it. And every day I tell myself I'm worth it. Nobody's going to fight this fight but me. And it can be any fight that it is, whether it's an addiction, whether it's, dealing with business failures and challenges and successes, whatever it is for you, it is all yours. And you have to celebrate the wonder of coming through it, but you also have to be willing to do the work to get you out of it.
Yeah.
And that work to me looked like a lot of soul searching and understanding who I am and why I am the way I am. And then realizing that none of that really matters, that you have to like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, figure out why you don't. I think that's the core of anything really is, what can you do? I liken it, like, let's just say with business right now, I can choose to sit in a corner and wallow and feel sorry for myself and wah.
Yeah.
Or I can get my shit together and make a plan and make a list and make a plan and get fired up about the plan and control the things. This goes back to what you can and can't control. Okay, So I can't control that it's 120 degrees in Phoenix right now. I can't control COVID. I can't control anything that COVID does. I can't control those things, but I can control the way I react. I can control to be happy. I can control if I exercise or if I don't. And if I don't exercise, then I have to accept the repercussions of that and know that that's still on me. Everything is on you, and not you. It's not all your fault, Jed. You know
you
what
sound
I mean?
like my son. My son thinks everything's my fault.
Well, he's supposed to because you're his father. As long as just please don't ever tell him that those little the bunny poops that you guys have bunnies out at your cabin.
No,
And
but
like,
I know what bunny poop looks like. I've
little
had
bunny
bunnies
poop.
before.
Just don't tell him that they're smart pills.
I would never. Man, somebody hurt you, didn't they?
My daddy, yeah.
Oh no.
For smart pills. You know what freckles are?
Oh
When you
no.
stand too close to the back end of a cow. Now you know why I love my dad. So that now you know where I got my sense of humor.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
But you know, it's hard. All of it's hard. It's
I have a question for you.
Hard every day.
I have a question for you because yes, I think everything you're saying is on point. And I don't always agree with what people say here, obviously, but I agree with you here. I'm wondering what sort of so you find yourself in a position that is suboptimal, we'll say, right? You're not doing well. Your mind's you're wallowing in your victimhood, and however else you put it, that's where you find yourself, and you make a choice. This isn't who I am. This isn't where I want to be. This isn't how I want my life to look. Right? You make that choice.
Yeah.
Then what? What do you reach out to somebody? What sort of resources at that point? I mean, is it like, oh, I'm going to go for a run, or what do you do? And I'm not looking for like an easy button for anybody. I'm looking for what does Kay do when you find yourself in that situation? Who or what do you reach out to help?
It immediately came to my mind. I have to go back to it's that one thing. Mm-hmm. It is me. Like I'm blessed to have great friends. I'm so grateful to all of the people in my life that I could feel like, I mean, I could, yes, you too, Howard.
Your credit where credit's due.
Credit. Yeah. I am blessed. I have a wonderful support system, but all of those people aren't going to do the work for me.
That's true.
And there is no easy button.
Right.
And, Walt Disney and his damn glass slipper, there is no magic land that's going to make everything okay. There is no Charming on a white steed that's going to run in. And you know what? I'm on my own white steed. I am the freaking steed. I mean, you have to do it for yourself. But for me personally, what I find is I'm big about icons, about things like hematite, different types of crystals. And I'm not all woo-woo. I mean, I'm not going to braid my leg hair and go sleep in a teepee. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I find comfort in seeing things that are visual reminders of my successes and visual reminders of my commitment to myself. Oh, write that shit down.
I like that.
You know what? That's what it is, Jed. It's a commitment to myself to never go back there again. For whatever. Wow. To whatever it is that anybody's going through, it's a commitment that you make to yourself not to go back, and you just don't. When you start to feel the monsters coming at you again, you say no, nay, nay. You know, I have to laugh about it because that's my nature. That's one of my go-tos is humor.
Is it every day?
Pretty much. Oh, my monsters?
I
Or
mean,
my humor.
well, both. I mean, you're using your humor to fight the monsters. I get that. But
Yeah.
I mean, for people that are listening, that where this resonates, right? Where someone's listening to this and they think, yep, that's me. Is this a battle that you're prepared to fight every day?
I have to.
Yeah.
You know, and it's whatever it is, whatever the battle is, it's you got to show up, you got to step up, you choose. See, I think maybe that's whether you're a glass half full, half empty kind of person. Maybe it's your basic nature. No, bullshit.
Right.
I call bullshit on myself on that one. Oh.
You honked the wrong word.
Oh.
You honked the bull. That was perfect. We'll blame it on COVID 2020.
It's like everything. We blame it on COVID. No, I think, you know what? I am also too, I am done giving myself excuses. And I think that's a lot of it. I think that we as a human, it's so much easier to point the blame and point the finger on everybody else, but this way. You know, when I point it this way, there's 4 of these, coming back at me, whatever that saying is. And I think that's true. I think, you know, I choose to be stronger. I choose happy. I choose life. I choose to make things better around me. I choose to try to make my business better. I choose to want to make a difference in the lives of the families that I touch with my images. I choose that. That's a choice, and it's a commitment I make to myself. And you know, people wonder why people with addictions kind of come and go through addictions, and you know, why you can kick it for 3 years at a time and then you fall off the wagon or whatever your addiction is. And I think you have to get to a point where you find it within yourself to make that choice. And once you do, once you're clear, it's become so easy. Like, I don't ever want to pick up another drink because I don't want to jeopardize how happy I am. Oh boy, okay, I just said it. There it is. You know, I choose this for me and for my family and for my friends and for my clients and for the people around me, just like I would want anybody fighting an addiction to choose to fight. And I use this I use this experience every day because it fuels me to want to be better for my business. Like I want to come through this well, and I want to start fresh. And I am using COVID and this situation and this period of time to come out fighting. And I've given myself a deadline. It happens to coincide with our weather pattern here in Arizona. My portrait garden will be overseeded and beautiful in October. So I'm spending September to redo my website, to redo my marketing material, to get everything in place to where when I launch, I'm coming out fighting, because I want people here in my town and in my community to see that I am still here and that I have really great ideas and new concepts and things that they never thought of before, never heard of before. And I think they're looking for that. I think your clients are looking to you for help as well, and for reasons to spend their money with you. You know, like, come up with ideas and thoughts and plans. Like, I've got to help, I'll just throw one out there, to help little kids and help preschool children understand masks and the whole idea of it. And I have a Lovables collection opportunity to where the parents call ahead and they pull up and they call me, and Aunt Kay comes out with a mask on, and I take their favorite toy or their stuffed animal, their teddy bear, whatever it is. I bring it in here. I photograph it real quick all by itself. I get down on the ground so it's, kind of eye level. Right. I put the mask back on. I go back out with a toy for the little one and say goodbye. And then I work with the parent to create a framed or just a standout is usually my favorite product. And then they display it in their homes, in their child's room of their favorite toy that eventually is going to get dog-eared and fall apart. But so it does two things. It means that portrait of their favorite protector is on their wall protecting them through COVID and through this. But they understand that just because they leave with a mask doesn't mean they're gone forever. They're going to come right back. There's a lot of psychology.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
For not having a kid, that was
you have great ideas.
My poor dogs. But it's those are the kind of things that I think clients are looking for.
They are.
Helping client. Are you writing that down? That is a pretty freaking brilliant
fantastic idea.
That's a brilliant idea.
You did it right that time.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I want to close and tell you two things.
Has it been an hour already?
I don't know how long it's been, but I want it to end now because this was perfect. I don't need any more than what I have right now. And what you said was a really big deal to me and for me, but I want to tell you this. I want to say that you have a lot of people rooting for you, and you have a lot of people that love you, and I am one of those people. And so I want to say thank you. You're always open and honest and transparent, and I love that about you. And your ideas are great too. That's all great, and there's a lot of nuggets here for people. But I think what people are going to get out of this is you, and I thank you for that.
Thanks. I wasn't really sure when it would be the right time, but I guess if I'm going to come out of the closet about this, doing it with one of my best friends and one of my dearest friends would be the way that I should do it. And, the more I talk about my alcoholism and the fight that I fight every day, the less power it holds over me. And I will say this, I have no magic answers other than I know you can do it. If you are fighting this fight, whatever the addiction is that you fight, you can do it. I can't give you any advice, but I can listen. If anybody needs somebody to listen, I am here for that. Because people listen to my story. I am a good 9 months sober right now. It's been a 10-year fight. I have been up to 3 years sober before I fell off the wagon and picked up that first drink. And people sometimes wonder, well, why? Why would you pick up a drink when you know that it's poison and when you know what it's going to do to you? And what makes this time different? And I say that this time, it's that one thing. It's me. I'm worth it. I'm worth being sober for because I'm pretty fantastic. That it's true. It's just that one thing. And I just hadn't figured it out yet. I hadn't figured out why being sober was worth it until I fell in love with myself again. And that's when I realized that sobriety is the way I want to spend the rest of my life because I'm worth it.
Yes, you are. Thank you for that. Have a great day. And thank you again. And I can't wait to see you in person. Hopefully it's within the next year or 2 or 10.
Yeah, I know. I was looking forward to seeing everybody coming up soon. But
too.
we will, we're all just a Zoom call away.
Yeah, that's right. I get it. Thanks again, Kay Eskridge. You have a wonderful day, sweetie.
I love you, Jedness.
Love you too. Bye
I'm
bye.
gonna go take off my eyelashes because I think they're about ready to fall. Oh,
They were coming off anyway.
Very
Oh, thank you.